Hi, this is the 20th part of this 4-shot tutorial series. In this part, I will talk about filters, and inside filter, I will talk about blur gallery. Blur gallery is one of the most important and famous filters tool inside Adobe Photoshop. It has too much options to customize your blur that you want to apply on your image. In my previous part of this series, I talked about important techniques in order to use filters. I talked about converting layer into small object. Alright, so before applying filter, I just want to convert this layer into smart object so that I'm able to customize that filter effect later on uh, once it is applied. So I will right click on the layer name and click on convert to small object. You can see there is a small icon that shows that this image, everything that is on this layer is converted to smart object. Now I'll select this layer and go to filter, and then I will click the blur gallery, and then I will select the feed blur. It will show all the 5 blur options that was available after this. Alright, what is field blur? You can see that there is a small icon in the middle of this image. This blur will be applied around this icon. Alright, the white color on this icon shows that this is the icon, and there's a small dot, white dot inside this icon shows that this icon is selected. If I click somewhere else, you can see that there is no icon in my previous icon. Alright, there is no dot, and there is a dot on the icon that I've just created. Means that if I select this icon in which there is a dot and I increase the blur, alright, the blur effect will be applied around this icon which is selected. Alright, if I wanna select this icon, and I can also drag it somewhere else, okay, and I want to blur the mountain, the top left corner of this image more than this whole image. What I will do, I will select this icon and then I will increase the blur. Okay, you can see that it's too much. You can see that the top left corner of this image is being more blurred. Okay, now I will unselect this blur because I want to show you this iris blur. Okay, so what it does, if I increase its value, you can see that everything that is inside this circle is not blurred, but everything that is outside this circle is blurred. It is more famous because when you capture an image from your mobile or any DSLR camera, the front image, the character inside that image is not blurred, but the background is blurred. So we can apply that effect if we have an image and want to change the background into a blurred image. Okay, so I can also increase it. Okay, and then I can also change the shape of this circle into a rectangular shape. Okay, and if I want to increase it right here, and I also want to increase the height of it. Okay, let's bring it back to this. Okay, and I want to increase its blur. So I think that's pretty much it. The background is not blurred, but I also want to include this water in the background also blurred, and I will show you later on then how we can do it. Because we have converted over there into smart object, we will apply this blurred effect onto that image, okay, using that mask that will be applied on that image. Now let's uncheck it and let's see another effect, that is the tilt shift blur gallery effect. Alright, there are different lines that we can use in order to blur it. You can see that we can also change it from up to down, and we can also change both the lines. Okay, we are not looking the difference. Let's increase the blur. Okay, you can see that everything that is between these lines is not blurred, and everything that is outside of these lines is blurred. So what are these 4 lines for? There has to be 2 lines. Okay, you can see that there is a gradient between blurred and not blurred between these two images. If I bring it down, you can see that there is a small difference between the blurred and the non-blurred part of this image between these two lines. If I increase it, will be a huge gradient. So this is how it can be really helpful. Okay, we can also rotate it like this. Okay, just drag your mouse icon around this small bluish icon. Okay, and we can also rotate it from here as well. Alright, if I want to increase the distortion, we can also do it by doing this. So this can be very helpful in different scenarios. Now uncheck it and let's see what is path blur. Okay, path blur means that you are driving a car and you want to capture an image of mountains. It will be shown that the mountains are blowing towards backside. Alright, means if I increase the speed, you can see that these images are blurred, and there is a path of this blur, maybe to the left side and the right side, because the arrow towards the right side, it means that the blur effect is being applied and shifting the pixels of this image towards the right side. If I want to increase it, you can see that it's being increased, it's getting too much. What I want to do is I want to decrease the speed. Okay, and if I increase the blue line, okay, let's increase the speed to check if it works fine. So now you can see that there is a blur effect towards the right side. Okay, it's just like the wind effect. The wind is blowing towards the left or right side. If I want to apply some shuffle effects, that also shows the wind effect as well, I can use it using these red icons. Okay, I'm gonna bring it towards down. Okay, you can see that from the left side of image it looks like that there is a blowing effect towards down, right down, and then it's going straight towards right. Okay, now let's bring it towards up, not this. Okay, the end icon. Okay. So this line is towards the downside and this is towards the upside. So in between these two lines there is a blowing effect towards the straight line towards the left and the right side, and on the left side of this image there is a blur effect towards the right downside, and from the right side of the image there is a path blur effect towards the upright side. Okay, so this is can be very helpful if you wanna show something moving towards left, right, up and down pretty fast. Okay, so let's uncheck it. Now let's see what is spin blur. Spin blur means there is a squirrel type blur effect will be applied. You can see that there's an icon as we saw in the field blur. We can also add this icon to the other parts of image in order to apply this spin blur. Right now we'll just work on this one icon. Okay, so you can see that there is a spin inside this image. If I want to increase it, I can also increase it. Okay, if I want to increase its size, we can also do it using the small outer circular icons, small dots. Okay, let's change its position to right here. Okay, and I will press enter to apply this effect. Okay, it will take some time because it has changed a lot of pixels of this image, so it takes time. If you have a faster system, it will not take too much time. You can see that there is a blur effect, and I mentioned earlier that there will be applied as mask under this because we converted this image into smart object. Okay, and there is a blur gallery. We can also change it later on with the help of by double clicking on it. Okay, if you want to go back to the previous state, you want to see layer, just press escape key on your keyboard. Okay, so if I want to remove this square blur from this part of image, okay, I will select this whitish rectangle and then I will select brush, then I will select black color, okay, and then I will increase its size a bit. So you can see that as I am applying the black color on this mask, the spin blur effect is being vanished. Alright, this is because if we didn't convert this image into a smart object, it will not create this mask. So whenever you apply a filter or blur filter, any kind of blur gallery filter, you need to convert this image into smart object in order to activate this mask and to customize that filter effect later on by double clicking on this blur gallery name. Alright, so guys, this was all for this video. In the next part I will talk about more filters and talk about lightning effect inside this Photoshop. Alright, if you have any question, comment below. Make sure you thumbs up this video. I hope that you are liking my series. There are 5 or 6 videos left for this series. I hope that you have learned a lot from this series. So see you in the next part. Thank you.